Okay, that you asked actually compound questions, so I'll object to your form of questioning because it's what they call compound, and the judge would, of course, tell me it is a
Nick,
compound.
no. Now you're just making that up because I asked you
No,
three
you need to
simple
rephrase your
questions.
question. Ask one question at a time, not compound questions. In other words,
No,
is the sky blue or not blue? I mean, come on, Chito.
I asked
Give
you
me a,
three
give me a
simple
decent
questions,
question.
Nick.
But
I
if
asked
you're
you,
looking at inflation,
Nick, here, let's fix it.
inflation
You asked me to
was.
rephrase your question.
Can I
Nick,
answer
you
your
asked me to
question?
rephrase. You asked me
I'm
to
going to
rephrase.
attempt to answer your compound question.
You asked
Okay.
me to rephrase it to make it even
Okay,
simpler.
go ahead and rephrase it. Make it easier
Okay,
for everyone.
is inflation up from last year or down?
Can you be more specific from last year? What does that mean?
In June
Are,
of
are, are you doing it? Are you doing
2024,
it just for the month, counselor? Are you doing it for the day? Are you
I'm Nick,
analyzing it?
here's Nick.
Annualizing
Now you're just playing semantic games,
it?
trying to change it.
Counselor,
Nick, the
because
answer is inflation is up. Our
okay,
price is
no,
higher.
no, 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 no.
Yes.
You're not being specific. See,
Sorry,
this is
Nick. You lost
this is
that. You lost
trying
that
to
one.
mislead all of our
Sorry,
viewers.
sorry, you lost
If you
that one.
look at inflation relative to Joe Biden's inflation,
Oh,
you're not
so
even close.
now I
You
see
are
what
not
you're
even
doing.
close, counselor. So you're not going
Nick,
to win the
Nick,
battle
Nick,
on
hold
inflation
on,
because
Nick, hold
everybody
on,
who lives with the Biden
Nick, you're doing a
inflation
lot of gaslighting here because what you're doing is you've already lost the argument.
so
You're
yeah, it
doing,
went up
Nick, you're doing a
2.5
lot of gaslighting
point
here.
8.
Nick, you're
Big
doing a lot of gaslighting.
deal. Big deal.
You
What
asked
you're
for
doing is you're
specific. Nick,
misleading our
Nick,
entire
no,
audience.
no,
Please,
Nick, you
this
asked for
is
specific.
kind of the Democratic
Nick,
way.
you asked for me to make it
Went up from
specific.
2.8
Nick,
bucks
and
to
now you're
2.8.
trying to do all this
Inflation is up.
gaslighting because again, you're not really
And Joe
making
Biden
an
was like
point.
9, 10,
So Nick,
20.
let me try it again. Let's try this again
Uh-huh.
because
So,
honestly,
so what
Nick
you're
again,
not going to that
Nick,
argument. Try another argument. What else you got?
Nick. Hello,
You
Nick.
lost
Hey,
that one.
Nick.
Try
I know
another one.
Nick
You're
again.
against anybody to right
2024,
yourself.
2024, Joe Biden was president. In June of 2024 of last year until this year of June of 2025, when President Trump is there, inflation was lower under Joe Biden. So again, when you're making these claims and then wanting to grab an aggregate, adding in 2022, when you're giving a pass to actually Trump with COVID, you're not giving a pass with Biden with COVID because we know for a fact that COVID affected inflation as things were rising, as things were opening up. So either you're going to be honest with it or you're going to be gaslighting.
Well,
And then now let's get back to food prices. The biggest jump, we'll go ahead and get it out of the way. The biggest jump happened with COVID and we were all shut down and food prices spiked then. So now
prices.
that we all agree there and we can be honest on things,
We'll take a
now
look at
are
this, right?
food prices up or food prices down since Trump has taken office? Are food prices up or are food prices down? You don't want to answer
Nick,
that because you know food prices are
Nick,
up. And then
I want
lastly
to.
but not least, real quick, Doc, lastly but not least,
Okay, here it is.
dollar
Right, I
value.
got it
The
from the
third
internet.
question that I
You're
asked
right,
you was about the
Jacoby.
dollar
Egg
value. Nick,
prices
hold
were
on.
up. Jacoby, I'm conceding an
Hold on.
argument. Egg
Wait.
prices
We've
were up
already
a
established
whopping
food prices are up. We've already established food prices are up.
1.74%.
We've already
Oh,
established that,
man.
Nick, we've already established that
You're,
food
you're,
and
you're
grocery
losing
prices
again,
are
just like
higher
all the
now.
Democrats. Or you're not going to
Food
lose it.
and grocery prices are higher now. We've already established that. It's a fact. Number three, the other third question that I asked you was about
You're
the
not going
dollar
to win.
value.
You win the
In the
inflation.
dollar value, I asked you that simple question about the
So the
dollar.
dollar
So
didn't go
now
up or
since
down. It
Trump has
just
taken
went up.
office, now
I'm
since
glad
Trump
you
has taken
asked. It
office,
just went up. The
is
dollar
the
value.
dollar value lower since
I'm in
Trump
Europe,
taken
baby.
office? Nick,
Let's
again,
tell
I
you
asked you a simple question and then you wanted to gaslight. But again, we all know the
Nick,
dollar value has dropped up under
no,
Trump.
the
Nick,
dollar value
I have
just
some
went
news
up
from
today.
Asia.
86
Nick,
cents. 86. You get 86
We're at a
cents
50-year low.
per dollar. So it just went up 1 penny.
Nick,
Jacoby.
I have some news from
But it
Asia.
did go up a penny. So yes, the
Nick,
dollar is getting stronger. In Europe,
Nick,
fine.
The
Nick,
dollar
I
value is
have some
getting
news in
stronger.
Asia.
Ah,
Nick,
We have
yeah,
news
yeah.
from Asia.
I want to support you. My wife says always support Nick and Trump. So I'm supporting Nick. Okay. Okay.
Really? I wouldn't go
Yeah.
always.
Yeah.
But go on,
So
Dr.
yeah. Okay. Yeah. Good news. Like Bangladesh buying 25 Boeing aircraft from USA. This is the deal, the tariff deals of Trump. this is good news for Nick and Trump. Besides that, Bangladesh government do not want to devalue the dollars. They want to hold this dollar value and all of the things. So Bangladesh is a very good friends of Nick and Trump and USA. And besides that, I want to share uh, Thailand and Cambodia border ceasefire reached. So this is another success for Trump. If this happen, I should say Trump should win Nobel Prize in peace. Like after this, Iran and Israel, Pakistan and India, and this Cambodia and Thailand. I recognize that everybody should recognize that Trump should win. If Trump do not win this Nobel Prize, it's very upset. And there are more news that ADB lower growth forecast in rising trade tensions. So it's happening. US Japan trade deal boosts the market, especially 15% tariff framework it boosts EU market, European Union market, Japan market, and definitely US market also. There are many interesting news happening, but Bangladeshi businessmen and garment business owner, they are very much uh, they have a lot of tension about this tariff deal and all of the things. So Nick, what your advice? I know that we will do debate. I will give him time.
Okay, Dr. Tree, Bangladesh will work out a good deal with the United States of America. We love Bangladesh. We will trade with Bangladesh. And you know what we're going to do with those snobby people north of us in Canada? We're going to stick them with a 50% tariff because our neighbors to the north don't like anything that we do down here. So hit them with a 50% tariff and open up the trade to Bangladesh because they produce really good, products there anyway. I buy all my clothing from Bangladesh, and we're going to keep that going again. So we can see that the trade doors in Bangladesh will be open, and the trade doors of Canada will be slammed shut with their liberal policies and their exporting their hatred toward America. And I think that's great. So, we have plenty of.
Just a couple of quick points. Tariff
Nick Chatovi, you should listen your wife.
Yeah,
I'm a smart man.
Dr.
My wife said, "Do not
we're
argue
going to be
with Nick
importing
and Trump."
from Bangladesh. and the snotty Canadians, forget that. They only want to do is push their liberal agenda south. Hey, so they can stay up north. We don't need them. We have plenty of trading partners. Matter of fact, we just did a big deal with Europe. Isn't that amazing?
Just a point, Nick. So
here, U.S. is moving forward, and all the agitators, they're just stewing in their juices. Oh, speaking of stewing in their juices, Jatovi, go ahead and juice up.
Just to point out, so you're advocating for higher prices?
No, once we get Bangladesh on board, they produce really great products at very reasonable prices, Jatovi. You get rid of these expensive Canadians who want to push their liberal agenda south, and you bring in the nice Bangladeshi people and their wonderful products. I don't see a problem with that.
How are you gonna, Nick? How are you gonna get past the shipping and the actual fees and all the other fees that also increase price?
We have boats. Bangladesh has boats. I was just in California last week. We have ports. We can bring Bangladesh products in here. We already do, and they're good products, high quality products.
I'm not saying they're bad products, Nick. You're not listening.
So the thing is, and then we get rid of our snotty neighbors.
You're not listening.
On us.
Nick,
we don't need it.
Nick, what I'm saying is, so
What are you
as
saying?
an analogy, you're living in Spain, right?
Yes, I am. As a matter of fact, I just bought a house here this morning.
So if say I make a cake. I'm gonna make you a cake.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna ship you that cake, but you just have to pay for shipping. However, your neighbor, the person who lives right next door, makes the exact same cake.
Yeah.
And all you got to do is walk over and grab it.
Yeah.
Which cake is going to be cheaper for you to get? My cake where you got to pay for shipping, or the cake next door?
Okay, see, the JD says just depends, Toby. It depends on
Just
a lot of factors. JD means just depends on a lot of factors. Labor cost is one of them, as we well know. In Bangladesh, they're willing to work hard, but they don't demand huge amounts of money for their hard work. At least right now they don't. So the thing is,
People in Spain won't work hard.
In Canada, they don't work hard, but they demand huge amounts of money.
So why would you in Canada don't work hard?
Bangladesh. I mean, it's called a free market, Jacoby. It's called capitalism. It's the fair system is designed.
Nick, as a question to you, then,
so that we can live better and make more money.
No, wait a second. You're saying that the people in Canada don't work hard?
They want to do socialism in Canada, that's fine, but that's not the United States.
You're saying that people in Canada don't work hard.
Hold on a second. Wait a minute. We got at least one Canadian here and everything. John, didn't you just retire? And where did you retire from? How long have you been retired and everything? Because John, I think you retired.
There's a lot of comments. Nick made a lot of Canadians.
They burned our White House. Don't forget that, Mark. They came down.
I'll just let you keep talking. You enjoy talking?
Hey, John, this is funny, though.
Yeah, it's hilarious. I love it.
Nick yelled out, "Oh, they burned the White House," but he forgets about January 6th, where what did
I'm Canadian, and I just love Nick's comments about him saying stuff about Canada. I'm just enjoying it. It's a comedy routine. Nick should get out of law. Being a lawyer and his investments and join comedy.
Going to come in because John,
be hilarious.
John, did you retire from a tech
Canada and make a ton of money? That's what he's interested in, and go on tour and be comedy and talk about Canadians. I love it. It's huge way to make a lot of money, Nick. Come on,
serious business.
We'll treat you well.
The dollar actually got stronger after the announcement.
I do have a question.
Stock market is up.
I do have a question.
Americans are happy again. They're not sitting there moping around like Uncle Joe, barely moving. What dollar can I spend? Internet for all, baby. Internet for all. I don't care if it costs $90,000. That guy in Nome, Alaska needs to have internet. That guy in Nome, Alaska needs to have internet. Yeah, right, Joe. You go spend it.
Hey, Nick,
out of office.
Nick, I got a question for you. Hey, Nick,
hold on a second. I have a question first.
Yes, go.
I want to ask a question. Hopefully, Nick is done with his diatribe. Maybe not. Okay, I'll let him finish. Are you done?
I'm done.
Fantastic. So, did Trump promise to make 90 trade deals in 90 days? When did the 90 days go up? Finish? Do you still believe him? Continuing these lying, and I know probably. Do you care that he lies a lot? 90 Trump trade deals in 90 days. Did that happen?
Are you asking me this question?
Yes.
Okay. Are you asking, did it happen or could it happen? Could it happen?
I said, did he promise? Hold on. I'll be very specific.
I've got to ask the next question. Why did it happen? Because you got stubborn groups like Canadians that won't make a deal. That's the reason it didn't happen.
90. Okay, last time I checked, Canada is one of well over almost 200 countries. 90.
Yeah.
90. How many did he make? Nick, one quick question. How many deals did he make in 90 days?
He made one good one with the United Kingdom.
90. He said 90. Did he not?
Yeah, he said he was open to making 90 deals.
Open. No, he promised not open. Not open to making. He said he would make 90
going to be troublesome.
How many deals did he make?
We're showing the United States.
And you agree that he did not make 90 days.
So it didn't work because you guys were stubborn. Too bad.
You're just going to keep talking.
Too bad.
All right, this round and round shit is boring. I've got COVID. I'm cranky. Let's move on to something else like Israeli humanitarian crisis. Where
the answer is no. The answer is no, Rick. He cannot admit That's it.
Fine, but let's move. I know
you don't care.
No, I fucking care, but I got COVID. I don't give a shit right now. I want to talk about 40% of Israeli reservists are refusing to come back to serve because they're objecting to what Israel is doing in Gaza. I thought that was an interesting development.
That's actually a really interesting development.
The Russians don't want to fight in their stupid war either. You see, they're all crossing the border to go to Georgia. There's like 300,000 of them. When Putin goes, hey, we're going to conscript you, they head toward the border toward Georgia and Armenia. Because I don't know if Sasha knows it, they don't want to fight in their stupid Russian-Ukrainian war. If I was a Russian, I wouldn't want to fight in your dumb war and get my head blown off from some Ukrainian that's a next-door neighbor. I mean, that's almost as bad as fighting John next door in Canada. I don't think I would do that. I'll argue with him. I'm not going to go take.
Unless you are
defending. Are leaving also. Yeah, go on.
Unless you are defending your country, the proposition of fighting the war somewhere else is a futile proposition. There's a lot of risks, and yet very little rewards. And so if you will look at it as a business proposition, it's a very, very poor choice to go to fight somewhere. However, if you defend your motherland, your country, it's a different proposition because you're defending your family, you're defending your land, you're defending your wife and relatives and children. So that's a very different proposition.
And you're right, Sasha, and everybody knows that except Vladimir Putin. It's like he's the only guy who doesn't understand war. But how many wars has he really been in? I mean, the guy just doesn't understand anything, and he's convinced his people around that this is okay. It's not okay.
Well, just a day or 2 days ago in his speech, he now mentioned something interesting. He said that both Kiev and Baku, the capital of Azerbaijan, they're both Russian cities. And as such, they should belong to Russia, and Russia has all rights to capture them and to invade them and probably kill everybody there and so on. It's preposterous, it's incredible, but again, we have this 50 days deadline for whatever it means.
He changed it. He changed it to 2 weeks now. That was actually one of the news stories that I put out there. So he changed the deadline and made it closer to 2 weeks. So he's changed it to 2 weeks from now. So he's changed the deadline once again.
So what's now the deadline? What's a date?
He's saying 2 weeks now.
2 weeks from now, from today?
Yeah.
Who said? Trump said 2 weeks again?
Yeah, he said 2 weeks.
He always says 2 weeks. If you notice, every time, we're going to have the healthcare plan in 2 weeks. We're going to have the end of the war in 2 weeks. We're going to have this in 2 weeks. He always uses that as an excuse.
And the MAGA idiots believe him each time. They're idiots.
So it's what they call a forward-looking.
MAGA idiots.
They do that all the time. I don't see them.
You would think after the first time they would learn, but they're idiots.
No, the problem is you don't understand forward-looking statements. In other words, what he's trying to accomplish will be tried to be accomplished in 2 weeks. Of course, you have another party, in this case, Vladimir Putin, which you got to see how the end game plays out. It's not over until it's over. But right now, we know the war is continuing. The question is, how long is it going to continue?
2 weeks.
And we don't know the answer to that question. There's nobody here on this panel. They can give
hold on a second.
This war will end. No one.
No, to be specific, hold on a second. To be specific, it's actually.
Democrat can tell me when the war is going to end.
No, hold on a second. To be specific, it's 10 to 12.
Wait.
Mark, a total of 2 weeks. 10 to 12 days as of today.
Mark,
so
hold on real quick.
12 days.
There's not one Democrat who can tell me what day the war is
to address what Nick just said, and this harkens back to what Dr. Sharif was joking about the Nobel Peace Prize. The individual who came into office, that's our current president right now, said that he would end the war in 1 day. He said that he could call Putin and end everything in 24 hours. None of that has taken place. The quote unquote the ceasefire that both the Biden outgoing administration and the Trump administration the incoming that happened between Israel and Hamas, that fell apart with Trump. So all these things, even the ceasefire that they supposedly had just recently, ended after they even bombed Iran. That all that stuff is just a farce. Just recently, he just said that Netanyahu and Israel needs to go ahead and finish the job in Gaza or in the West Bank. What does that mean? He was actually at the beginning of his administration talking about ethnic cleansing the area. And then right now we have famine and everything else happening in that area. So in terms of a Nobel Peace Prize, no, that should never happen with Trump. In terms of trying to figure out when things are going to end, this was Trump who said that these things were going to end in his particular timeline. Hence the reason why he gives these 90 days, this, it's going to
before
end
he even took office. He said he was going to end
the war. You guys said on the internet, he said, I used it figuratively. He says that,
MAGA idiots
and he said this as an exaggeration, but he goes to make a point. However, it's been carried on by people that do fake news, like two commentators from Pod TV.
Nick, Nick,
you're both mentioned here as
Nick. Hold on, Nick. We do not need a president to exaggerate things.
Oh,
that is creating a lie. No, Nick, hold on, Nick. You just said fake news and all this other stuff. Nick, wait. Nick, you just said fake news and all this.
That's what he said.
You just said lies and all that. What is an exaggeration? An exaggeration is a lie. An exaggeration is fake news. So the person propagating the propaganda should never be the president or the leader of a country, because we've been through that multiple times.
Get rid of all the Democrats. They lie all the time.
Hey, Nick, I got a question for you and everything, just along those same lines, but coming back to one of those lies that was out there. Did this, because, we're talking about the economy. Y'all are going to be talking about the economy in about 20 minutes and everything like that. But wasn't there a country in the Middle East that gifted a plane and everything? And now they are saying that plane is going to cost $1 billion. So that's U.S. money that's got to be paid by the U.S. citizens. So what's your take on this? Because Donald Trump got a new gift from Qatar. That's the new Air Force One. And in order to get the Air Force One up to code and in order to be official and everything, they're saying it's going to cost $1 billion. So wouldn't that be problematic in your mind?
Really? Who said all this stuff, Mark? Oh, by the way, it's not lies, gentlemen. It's prior inconsistent statements. Nobody in court uses the word lie. It's always prior inconsistent statements. Please stop using the vernacular.
Okay, so can you be charged for lying to Congress?
I'm tired. And call me.
Yes or no, Nick?
Are you asking?
Can you be charged for lying to Congress?
Are you asking me this question? I decline.
Based on your statement, you're saying that you want to play a semantic game.
I'm just letting you know. You just say it's prior inconsistent.
Okay, no, we can call out lies. We can say that they are lies.
It's vernacular. It's for the hoi polloi. Come on, please.
Can you be charged with lying to Congress?
MAGA idiots don't consider anything Trump said to be lies, just exaggerations.
Just exaggerations. But I got a question for Dr. Sharif and everything like that. Hold on. Because we got to get to other parts of the world as well and everything. So, Dr. Sharif, what is your take on this new ceasefire? Will it hold and everything? Because apparently there is a ceasefire going on between Thailand and Cambodia, which is not that far from you and everything. So what is your take on this new ceasefire?
I told you, this is reality. Like, I can understand that lot of tension, lot of problem and everything happening. But how Trump tackled these different wires? First, in between, definitely there is a question in between Ukraine and Russia wire. But how he tackled this Iran and Israel. Before that, this India and Pakistan, and now Cambodia and Bangkok. This is excellent job. I live in Asia, so lot of people has threat for this war. Lot of people has tension, challenge on all of the things. If truly Trump solved these things, he deserved Nobel Prize this year. Definitely, he deserved. It's my very neutral comments. It's not. I do not get any benefit from in any political party, any people. So it's my neutral comments. We should recognize this ceasefire. Yeah. Definitely.
Oh, by the way, to help answer your question, Mark, you got a question mark. I like when people say question mark. I think that's pretty cool. But anyway, to help answer your inquiry relating to Air Force One, first of all, it comes NBC News. Excuse me. That's not an authority on anything right now. But the thing is, they said it could. They didn't say it would cost it over a period of time, up to 1 billion, maybe 400 million. They don't know to actually refurbish it the way it needs to be for the specs for the USA. And that's about it. It's, as they say in Shakespeare, much ado about nothing. It comes from.
It is a gift from
MSNBC. Have you seen how biased?
That was a gift.
The
same
thing
thing.
The thing is, it's so biased. It's like CBS. They throw Steve Colbert.
Congressman got arrested for.
Colbert is off the air. Okay, because they just get tired of listening to stuff. I tried to read MSNBC.
Colbert was the #1 show in its time slot, so people weren't tired of it.
I mean, really. And this article, it's very.
So wait a second, Nick. Your complaint is that
there's any factual basis. I haven't.
Nick, let me understand. You feel that Colbert is biased, therefore he should be off the air. What about Gutfeld? Have you said anything about Gutfeld? Because he's extremely biased.
Who?
What about the man who used the argument that no legitimate person should ever believe me? Mr. Tucker Carlson used that in a court of law, and also Fox News used the defense of we are an entertainment station. So should all of Fox be off the air because they are very biased?
No, because they're making money. See, the other thing with Colbert, he was losing his tail, at least according to reports I got. They were losing like 40, 50 million a year because he's getting paid outrageous salaries to be a jerk. Yeah, Rick. Go on.
So I'm sure they could make a deal with Colbert, who's got a lot of money, to reduce salaries, and particularly his own. So the Tonight Show is the most venerable big dog in the genre. It's been on for 70 years, and Colbert is doubling the ratings of that show. So I'm sure they could have worked something out if they wished to. They just made a $1.5 billion deal with Matt and Trey for South Park. So if they can spend $1.5 billion, they can probably spend 10 or 20 million to keep Colbert afloat if they wanted to, but they wanted to kiss Trump's ass.
Oh, well, that's fair enough. I mean, it makes a lot of sense to actually support the president of the United States as opposed to be adverse.
Nick, that's not freedom of the press.
What happened is they got rid of this guy who's,
Nick, I gotta interject because now you're going down and saying, Nick, just say it simply. Just say it simply. You are for an authoritarian government or a dictatorship where people cannot criticize the leader or the government.
I'm loyal. Stay in line, baby. Stay in line. If you want to go criticize, go have dinner with your wife and criticize them all they want. But don't flaunt your dirty laundry in front of the world to see, please.
I got something. The court
and a scholar, especially
the estimates come from Pentagon sources and disclosures, not from NBC, from the Pentagon. So is the Pentagon now a left-leaning news source, Nick?
This is the House, baby. Respect the House, okay?
Hey, Nick. The estimates that you questioned said you don't trust NBC, I guess, it being left-leaning. But the estimates come from The Pentagon. The Pentagon, Nick. The Pentagon. Is the Pentagon left-leaning? Isn't it part of the government?
Why would it be left-leaning?
So that's my question. So you're questioning the money of the cost to upgrade the plane, and you said, oh, that comes from a source of NBC.
Yeah, unfortunately, because they have monopoly.
Can you admit that the source comes from the Pentagon? Yes or no?
No, I don't give yes or no questions. I'm not your servant, John.
So you refuse to answer a question.
Nick and John, I've got a hypothetical question.
If you want a robot to respond, I suggest you hire a robot. If you want a person to respond, you're going to hear a diatribe.
I'm asking you whether the estimate comes from the Pentagon. You refuse to answer? So be it. I'll take that as.
You take my answer. That's great, John.
You don't know what the hell you're talking about.
Why don't you make up the questions and make up my answers? And take my answers. In the meantime, I got to get ready for another show. While you guys.
I know you got to get ready for another show, but I got two quick questions. One is there a possibility? It's a quick question. Did he disappear? No,
yeah, he did.
So I was going to ask him about the parallel, because apparently there's a country in Sudan that is doing a parallel government, and that's what they have announced. So, and I've heard people speculate that MAGA might become our version of a parallel government. So, is that a real threat? Are we going to have two governments in the U.S., much the way that apparently Sudan has now, which has got their country in deep crisis and everything? So, do we run a risk of there being like a civil war here in the U.S. and therefore almost having like two governments? Like
we did one of those. It killed 3% of our population. It was a terrible thing. America does better as an intact nation.
Yeah, agreed. Because we did that back with the Civil War, and that was not a good thing, and everything along those lines. So I agree with you on that. Hey, Sasha, I know you're not a big fan of it and everything like that, but it looks like France and Saudi Arabia are pushing for a two-state solution and everything like that, and they're actually going, I guess, before the UN in these next couple of days. So what is your take on this conversation? Because apparently it is now coming out there that there's talk both about humanitarian aid to Gaza, but also a two-state solution and everything like that Saudi Arabia, I believe, and France are pushing for. So what are your thoughts on that, or anybody?
Well, I'm surprised that nobody is talking yet about three-state solution or seven-state solution. I don't know why. There's only one state solution, and that is the state of Israel. Israel acquired this land through the 6 Days War in 1967, and unless Gaza, Hamas, and whoever else, they have to start a war and get back their land. They have to get it the same way they lost it. They lost the land, period. Now get it back. Make strong army, buy the American weapons, buy whatever else you can get, you can buy, or produce yourself if you can, or you can't produce yourself. It's out of question. Okay, so then you buy, and you have rich friends like Qatar and Saudi Arabia and others. So get money from them. Buy from America weapons, start the war, win the war, and you get your land back. That's how you have two-state solution. There is no other way. Forget it. Israel will never, ever get you what you want. You have to get it yourself. Get it. If you can, or you can't, then bye-bye. It's a payback time, baby. You started the war on October 7th. You lost it. It's a payback time now.
Toby, you had a thought?
I have one question too. It's very interesting for me, like how you explain, because maybe definitely many of the young people, they do not know what happened. What you call this 1971, right? Jatofi, Sasha?
I'm calling the 6 Days War in 1967.
1967. Okay, thank you. I have another question. I saw from some newspaper. Many Israeli people, they are actually immigrating in Cyprus. So, what's your thought about that? They are developing new house or new ecosystem
Some
for them.
people are moving from Israel to Cyprus, and some other people moving from Cyprus to Israel. It's a two-way street, and whoever people decide to do, that's their private business. A lot of people moved from Israel to United States, and at the same time, a lot of people moved back from United States to Israel. A lot of people moved to France. Many people from France with this anti-Semitism, what is going there and getting worse and worse, they're coming back to Israel. Now, several Israeli cities, they have streets with French names because there's a large French background neighborhoods are in Israel. So this two-way streets. We live in a free world, or trying to live in a free world, so people can make any decisions.
Rick brought up a good point earlier and everything, and I don't know your take on this, Sasha, but he said that there was a significant amount of conscious objectors, and I remember that was something very popular in the Vietnam War, but it sounds like that's going on in Israel. I forgot the percentages that he said, but there's a lot of people that are opting not to fight for the Israeli army because they are objecting to the reasoning for the fight and to Netanyahu. So what is your take on that, Sasha? And then Rick, if you want to explain it better than I just tried to recap it and everything like that. But
Israel has, everybody in Israel, with few exceptions, is required to serve in the military.
Right.
And even after you're done, you're in the reserves and you can be called up. And people have already served over in Gaza, up to 40% of them, and other reservists are pretending not to get the notices saying you got to go back because they don't like what is happening and what's being done, current policy in Gaza. So.
That's what I thought it was. The folks that were objecting to the policies of Netanyahu because he isn't all that popular in Israel, from my understanding, and I do have some friends that are in the Jewish community, including some that are related by being connected to family and everything like that. So definitely doesn't seem like he is as popular as folks think he is, and all along those lines. But you told me, did you have some response you have wanted to make, and we're going to wind down in about another 5 minutes?
I mean, a two-state solution is the best solution sitting there right now, and just being honest about the situation. And yes, it's a hot button topic. Yes, it's a tough discussion because you have emotions that run hot. But you just have to be honest with what's going on with Gaza. We need to let the press in, to allow the press, independent press, to go through and see what's exactly going on. We need to actually allow aid in and food in and stop the starvation and the decimation of the individuals that are there. We need to, again, work on a two-state solution. Figure a way for both the Israeli people as well as the Palestinian people to have their own, stop the occupation, try and help each other, and move forward. It's a very complex situation, so it's hard for us to sit here and discuss it, especially like within a few minutes. But yeah,
you can say should and ought to, and that doesn't work with Israel. They Netanyahu kind of does what he wants. He knows he's going to be prosecuted when he leaves office. So, it's hard to get. And then Hamas are murderous maniacs, and they don't want to be liquidated. I mean, here's my order. If you're any kind of leadership of Gaza requires Hamas to be made illegal the same way the Nazi Party was made illegal in Germany. Is that going to happen? I don't freaking know.
The tough part is that the people in Palestine right now, or the Palestinian people in Gaza, they were wanting to get rid of Hamas. They've been trying to, but they can't because they haven't had any elections since Hamas has been in there, and that's since 2006. And so the majority of the people, well, at least 50% of the people, have never voted, and they don't have the opportunity to. And so there have been protests, and there continue to be protests. And like the people in West Bank, evidently Hamas in terms of ruling. They rule mainly Gaza, but not the West Bank. And the people in the West Bank as well are being attacked. They're Palestinian people. And this is why I continually say, and Sasha, I mean, I love you to death, but we cannot say that the Palestinian people and Hamas are the same. They aren't. The problem is,
as a matter of fact, along those same lines, they're saying that the Arab countries will condemn Hamas in order to have the Palestinian state recognized. So they're saying that I think all the Arab countries.
It's the same thing with the Israeli people. For them to live in peace, honestly, people have to understand that the Israeli people don't want what Netanyahu is doing. And so the Israeli people want peace as well. So making a blanket statement about the Israeli people is just as bad. So we have to be able to look at it legitimately. And honestly, it's almost impossible. And yeah, just like Rick said, shoulda, coulda, woulda isn't going to solve anything. And shoulda, coulda, woulda is all we can do.
Jatovia, interesting question for you. You know that about 2 million Arabs live in Israel. They live, they have all rights, they are working, they are studying, they have medical care, everything, whatever Israelis have. What's the difference between this population of 2 million Arabs living in Israel and the Palestinians? What's the difference?
This is
people. Is this the same ethnic population or not?
Well, there's a lot of differences, and you're not being honest with those differences.
Okay.
Are the people for example, are the people in Gaza living before all this took place? I think it was the Israeli government or whomever had listed that the people in Gaza were living in things that were tantamount to apartheid. So if you're saying that the people in Gaza are living just free willy-nilly and like having all their freedoms and not living up under an occupation, then you're being untruthful.
No. I think you're missing my question.
I'm answering your question because you are leaving out so much context. So, and then on top of that, the individuals that are the Palestinians that are living in Israel, are they up under the same rules of law as those living those Israelis that are living?
I didn't ask you to delve into the laws. No,
what it is, Sasha, you're trying to make it seem as if the people who are studying in Israel have freedoms and just so free and all this other stuff. No, what I'm trying to explain to you is there's a complex situation there, and we have to look at the complex situation.
That's okay.
On a serious note.
You didn't understand.
For example, Sasha, there was okay. I got a question for you, Sasha. There was a gentleman who just did a 1 verse 20 extreme right-wing individuals, and he had pointed out the situation that the people of Gaza, the people of West Bank, were living under. And again, I am stating that I want the people of Israel to live in peace because they are beautiful people and they deserve their land. I am also stating that the Palestinian people deserve theirs and they should live in peace. So this is not a hey, I'm trying to speak from a propaganda. No, never. I want the people to live in peace, and it's a complex situation. But the gentleman also pointed this out, that there are little kids that are being shot by the Israeli army right now. And they are just coming for food, those little kids. Do you believe those kids deserve to be shot? The Palestinian kids, do you think they deserve to be shot?
Look, it's a two-way street. If you refuse or you're unable to answer,
so you're saying that those kids deserve to be shot, is what you're telling me.
Who am I to judge?
The answer is no.
Listen, I'm not going to judge anything what's going on there. There is a history.
What you're asking,
and people will do whatever they feel is right to do. Okay, leave it to them. Don't mess around. Okay,
Sasha, please let me help you. There is no do what is right for them, and that right turns out to be shooting a child. There is no right for that. The point being, what he was trying to make the point is, and the same point that I'm trying to make, is that we have to create some type of solution where both these populations are in a situation where it's peaceful. And
it's neither to you or to me to create any solutions. There are people on the ground, and if they believe they have to fight, they will fight. If they want a peace, go and get the peace. It's not you.
The people on the ground are asking for peace. That's the thing. That's the point.
Well,
everybody's asking for peace, but the people that are in power are putting out propaganda to get people outside of that area riled up.
Okay, I have to leave. Bye-bye.
Yeah, he's got to leave, and we've actually got to wrap up. We got the economic.
Just a quick comment. I really enjoyed today's call because Nick had a bunch of nice things to say about Canada. I really enjoyed that. I laughed throughout, so it was very entertaining. And yeah, maybe Nick can spend some time in Canada and make use of the facilities and or experience our country.
Maybe he'll come and visit your country and everything like that. I didn't get to this notion because apparently some other countries are starting to do their country first, kind of like that America first agenda, because one of the stories that I mentioned was Japan first. So maybe we'll get to that on tomorrow or later on in other editions of World Edition. But there are other countries that apparently are having this notion of us first and everything like that. And it seems to be a response to some of the Trump policies. But we'll talk about that more on other shows and all along those lines, because apparently there's a Japan first movement, just like there was the America first movement that Trump is apparently behind. So maybe there's a MAGA in Japan, but we'll find out more about that in future shows and all along those lines. But it's been a good show.
MAGA will die. I'm always of the opinion that rationality and reason will prevail.
Oh yeah. The reason is always the best way to go, no doubt about that. On that note, we're going to get out of here, and we'll see if there's some reason going on the economic show as well. But right now, we're getting ready to get on out of here.